Good evening, everybody. How are we all doing? I hope everybody is doing well. I am well on the way. Yep, I've been drinking for a wee while, shall we say? I've got that glass, I got this bottle, and this bottle is just about half full. This is bottle number 2. So, yes, I will be finishing this off tonight on camera, live. So, that is what we will be doing. And then I've got beers in the fridge as well. So, we will be doing that. That is what tonight's show is all about. It's rare. You guys never see me drink on my shows. It's just not something I do. Because I like to kind of stay clean and sober and everything else. But this is New Year's. You should never drink and stream. Normally I don't, Johnny. I normally don't drink and stream at all. It just I never do it. But this is Hogmanay, and so screw that. All rules are there to be broken, especially on Hogmanay. So that's what we will be doing this evening. We will be breaking those rules, and normal service will be resumed on Sunday for Sunday Night Live. So I'm very excited about that and about 2025 and all that that has to bring. But yes, you're not a stink as drunk as you are. Yeah, I actually am reasonably merry. My wife is in bed now, but she was roaringly drunk as well, which was, by the way, hilarious. She is so funny when she's drunk. It's very, very entertaining. And I tend to be the only audience that gets to see that. So that's a good thing in her case. But in mine, yeah, one day I will secretly film it. But then she'd probably divorce me, and that would be no good. So let's go see who is here. Billy Morgan was the first one in, as per usual. Pretty much 10 minutes after I set this up, he made his presence known, and we got Kyle Traduziak here. We got Tony Stringer. He says, happy 2025, if it's okay for me to say so. Of course it's okay for you to say happy 2025. Absolutely. That's where we are. We are in 2025 now here in Scotland. You guys in the United States are not there yet, but you've probably got a few hours to go. For me, we are 1 hour and 7 minutes into 2025, and I can tell you already it's fantastic. So you've got plenty to look forward to as to watch. This is what? Yeah. What this is already like. This is already very, very good. So, who else we got? We got Dave Barcelo here. And we got Christina, who is partying. I spoke to her just a few minutes ago on WhatsApp, and she is partying, most definitely partying. And she is having a blast, which is good. And hopefully she will be around if there's going to be an after show Zoom. And man, I hope so. So Billy Morgan, get your fucking finger out. See, I swore. That's the first swear word of the year. Fanfare. Yep. And that's the first time I've ever sworn on... No, not the first time I've ever sworn on my show, but maybe the first deliberate time I've sworn on my show. So anyway, I did say that there would be a swear jar for tonight, and there probably is. We're probably going to require it. So YouTube, please do not kind of, demonetize this show. I mean, I don't monetize my channel anyway, but please don't deprioritize this channel because I swear a wee bit I'm Scottish. Come on, give me a break, YouTube. So yes, I hope that there is a show, a show that this is the show. I hope that there is a live stream after this show. And he says there will be, so that's good. Let's see who else we got. We got Rich Cresswell, who has just moved house. Congratulations on your move, my friend. I am very excited for your future. It sounds like it's going to be roaringly and crackingly good, mate. Tony Stringer says, what do I have to do to what do I have to drink to watch this show? You can drink whatever you want, mate. Whatever takes your fancy. In your case, you're going for Prosecco. Good choice. That's what I'm drinking just now. And as I said, I'm on bottle number 2. Let's see. Oh, we got Johnny Gibe here, of course. Johnny and I have been friends for more than 10 years. He's kind of part of the reason that I got into Studio One in the first place. A combination of him and Joe Gilder. Both of you are responsible for getting me into Studio One. And of course, had I not got into Studio One, I would not be doing the job I'm doing now, working for Presonus. You know, I have a lot to thank Johnny for, because Johnny encouraged me to start making tutorial videos and start live streaming. So Johnny, this show is entirely your fucking fault, mate. But yes, Johnny Gibe, I have a lot to thank you for. Your friendship, for a start, and also your help and your encouragement and your support. And I could not be happier doing what I'm doing with this channel, and I could not be happier in my job at Presonus. And you are kind of partly very, very much responsible for making all of that happen and moving me in that general direction. So, Johnny, I owe you a massive, massive thank you for everything you've done for me over the last 10 years or so. It's more than 10 years. It's like 11 years now. But yeah, so as I start 2025, I have a lot to be thankful for, and I'm excited for the future as well. Anyway, moving on, Kyle Tradusiak says, it's a bit soggy in New York City for the ball drop, warm and cozy in the music room. Good for you, my friend. Let's see, Dwayne is here as well, and Danny Taylor is here. He says 2024 can be flushed down hell's toilet. Yes, along with the satanic toilet paper. And yes, swear count number 1. Danny, please keep score for me. I would appreciate that. Because I think that's 2 I've said now. So we're making a good start. Carl says we've had a bit of thunder here and the skies have opened up. And Billy has confirmed that he will zoom after show. Alien Intelligence Agency is here with his little alien friend. I'm assuming that alien friend of yours is called Jeff. I hope it is. Keith says he's on wife beater number 8. Yeah, you're on about 5 or 6 before you finish your show. I noticed that. But yes, it would appear you and I kind of got our wires crossed over what time I was starting my show. I was always starting at 7 p.m. Central. So you could have actually taken a whole nother hour if you wanted it. And that's okay. And Carl says nothing worse than a soggy ball drop. Absolutely. I mean, I can't imagine anything worse. Dwayne says New Year's is about 6 hours from here out in the Galaxy Lowlands. Yep. And Johnny says, I will happily take the blame for you being here. Yes, it's entirely your fault. You shit. But I love you. Thank you very, very much. So, a very, very happy new year to everybody that is watching, to all my subscribers, as we head massively towards, by the way, for those of you that are keeping an account on my subscriber count, we're rapidly approaching 6,000. I am thinking that we might actually get to 6,000 before the springtime, which would be great. At the moment, we're at about 5,460 something, I think. I think we've actually, no, have we passed that? No, we're not quite at 5,650. We're not quite there yet. But we're getting there. And Danny Taylor is keeping the swear jar count. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And he goes, that's Mr. And Johnny says, that's Mr. Shit to you. No, that's Sir Shit. That would be accurate. Sir shit. You've just been knighted in the King's New Year's Honours List, my friend. So, yeah, I am a wee bit drunk, as you can probably gather. Oh, my God. But it's been a very, very fun day. I've had a lot of fun with my kids. We've been playing PlayStation games because my son got a new PlayStation. And we've been listening to some classic music from mine and my wife's teenage years and introducing that kind of music to my kids. And they actually seem to quite like it, which is cool. And we've been just eating. We've been eating pizza. We've been eating sausage rolls, pork pies, everything that's definitely not kosher. So yeah, that's all we've been doing here, and then drinking. I think I started drinking about maybe 5 o'clock this afternoon. I decided, hey, it's about time I cracked open a beer. So I did. And I've got a whole box in the fridge down there full of Punk IPA, which I will be opening in a wee bit. And more than likely tomorrow will be spent with a vom bucket in front of my face, but that's okay. This is entirely for your viewing pleasure, because this is a part of me that you normally do not get to see. So I'm letting you in on that. So the whole point of tonight's show is to celebrate 2024 and to celebrate having arrived in 2025. So I have a couple of questions for you to think about and to comment on in the chat. So we'll start with the first question, and that is, in terms of music and your music output this year and things that you've learned, what are you most thankful for in 2024? So that could be things that you've achieved, things that you have developed, songs that you have written, pieces that you have submitted for entry into one of the songwriting challenges for 2024. Please get those in the chat now. I'm very interested to find out what you guys are most thankful for and most proud of in 2024. And Christina is here. Yes. I'm glad you're here, Christina. You and I were talking just before the show started. And I think you are maybe a wee bit more drunk than I, but but I think I'm catching you up. Billy says if he drinks enough, he'll maybe spill the beans. Spill the beans on what? You have no idea how deeply the non-disclosure agreement is written all the way through me, my friend. And of course, I am trained by MI6. And so that means that I am trained in not revealing secrets. Kyle says, my mix of the WAG song that I did. Yes, you certainly should be very proud of that, my friend. For sure. It was very, very good. And Tony says, thank you to me for 2024 just being you. Thank you very much, Tony. I appreciate that. It's very kind of you to say so. Let's see, what else do we have? And Keith says, from a musical lens, I would say letting my vocals out. Yeah, I'm glad that you've been singing on your songs, and you've just been, you know what? Some of your songs, some of your best songs, Keith, are the ones where you're more kind of speech singing, if you know what I mean, because those are the ones where you don't care about the pitch and you're just delivering. You're delivering the lyrics like you're delivering a part in a play or in a musical show, and your performances when you've been doing that, Keith, I think have been absolutely outstanding and totally captivating, and also fucking hilarious as well. So yeah, please do keep going, Keith, in that vein, because I think you are onto something in terms of your music. You're totally onto something there. Jonny says, I am thankful for still being able to speak, to do videos and help people. Well, you know what? So are we. But we do have a backup plan for when your voice finally does give up. There's technology that can help you and can keep you making videos. Because I think the one thing you should not do is allow your voice to be the stumbling block that stops you making videos and stops you helping people, because there's technology that can help you continue doing that. And so that, I think, is where you need to start thinking about maybe saving a little bit of cash for investing in. And it does mean you're going to have to think about how you make your videos in a slightly different way. But I tell you this, Jonny, I really believe that once you have got the methodology and the routine down on how you're going to make those videos when your voice is gone, I think your videos will be outstanding, like really, really good, as if they're not already good, because they are. They're already good. And the cool thing is, even if your voice does not come through on the videos, your personality will still do. And that's the important thing. So I think that's what you got to hold on to, Jonny, and start planning for. Christina's agreeing with me about Keith. Yes, totally. 100%. Roger Beckett is here, and so is Gardner99. I'm very glad you guys are here. Come join the party. If you have an alcoholic beverage with you, please consume whilst you watch, because I am doing that too. I have a glass of Prosecco here, and I have a bottle to go with it. And this will be gone by the end of the show, and then, well, before the end of the show, most likely, and then I'll be on to the beers. I have no idea how long I'm going to go on for. I will keep going for as long as you guys are still being entertained and still have thoughts and still have contributions to make. We got 19 people here. If you know other people that you think would be entertained by tonight's show, get them in here. If they are in other Facebook groups or they're just people you know, get them in here if you think this would be useful to them. We got Danny Taylor keeping the swear jar count. Thank you very much. Keep it going. And hopefully you won't lose count, because it might get a wee bit sweary. And also, anyone that speaks Scots or knows Scots, you may need to start translating, because I may actually, as we go, lose the ability to dial back my accent as we go. And if that happens, I might need someone to translate for me, because you might no longer be able to understand me. Gardner99 says, nothing but water over here. Water is good. Christina's asking, how's the storm? Well, right now, the wind is not too bad. It has shifted. It was a nice southeasterly, and now it's now back more kind of westerly for the moment. And it's calmed down a wee bit as well. I mean, we did have winds gusting at 80 miles an hour, but they have backed down a wee bit. It's now gusting at 45, maybe 50. So for right now, it's calm, but it's calm before the next phase, which is going to be much colder and much windier. And also we're going to get snow. So we're told. A lot of the forecast models are telling us we're going to get a whole fucking dump of snow. So, yeah. It's going to be fun. Jonny says, sadly, I have to go to work in 30 minutes, but I'll be here till then. Okay, mate. Tony says to Jonny, he says, you have a real friend in Jonny Lipsham and the rest of us wonderful people. Yeah, absolutely. Totally. Danny Taylor says, look out, I'm drinking Sprite Zero and I've got fat pants on. Party time. There you go. Keith says, you don't know what snow is. Well, actually, I do, because I have lived through periods in the 21st century where we have had between 5 and 7 feet of snow at different points. Like in 2010, for example, we were having to dig a trench in the snow from our front door out to the main road in the place where we used to live. And pretty much Edinburgh ground to a halt. There was no cars, there were no buses, there was no public transport. It was mental. And there were cars just abandoned all the way down our street. It was crazy. Where people had tried to make it down the road and then, you know, they got bogged down in the snow. They couldn't, so they just left their cars and they just walked. But it wasn't just abandoned cars, it was abandoned buses as well, where, you know, the bus driver basically said, look, we can't go any further, so we're just going to leave the bus here. And those cars and buses were like stuck on our street for over a week. So I totally remember that. And I totally remember going to the shopping mall down from where we lived and trudging through nearly waist deep snow to get there. And basically there was not much on the shelves. Because a lot of people had like gone and okay, YouTube is saying there's no data. What the hell? My connection dropped. Not according to OBS, it hasn't. But according to YouTube, we are off. And we're back. Okay, that was weird. We went off for a second there. So yes, so there was nothing on the shelves back then. So yes, I do know what snow is. Trust me. And of course, you know, Highlander, we get lots of snow up in the Highlands. Let's see. Dave says he's talking to Christina. I hope you're having a great time. And yes, Christina is totally drunk, which is fabulous. Which is awesome. And she's at a party, but they were listening to crap music. I gave up and went to bed. Let's see. I've forgotten what the first question I asked you guys was. Oh yes, the first question I asked you guys was, for those of you who have only just joined us, what one thing are you most thankful for musically in your journey, your musical journey in 2024? What are you most thankful for? Post it in the chat, because I want to read what you have to say and what's really grabbed you. We got some good entries so far, but I would like to see some more. I'd like to see some more of what you guys are what you guys are thinking about as musical highlights for your journey through 2024. Let's see. Gardner99 says 58 Fahrenheit clear, feels like 55 degrees in New Orleans, Louisiana. Nice. What is it here? Let me go check for a second. What are we in Fahrenheit just now? We are 45, but it feels like 38, and it's pissing it down with rain. At the moment. But we have snow coming. So that's going to be exciting. But the rain, the wind is backed right off. It's like hardly a thing now. Which is good. Dwayne says, most thankful for upgrading my computer to take advantage of the new version of Studio One. Yes, I'm very glad you did that. Very glad you did that. That's very cool. Studio One version 7 is awesome. Now, I personally, if I tell you mine, I am personally most thankful for being involved with development a bit more and quality assurance a bit more for Studio One, and being involved with Studio One version 7 pretty much from before we started alpha testing internally, and then all the way through the beta, and then onto release. So I had been using Studio One for almost a full 6 or 7 months before public release. And so that journey for me was really exciting to be involved with. And some of you may or may not know this, but if you go to help about Studio One, or if you're on a PC, if you're on a Mac, you need to go to Studio One, about Studio One. If you look there, you'll see the credits scroll by. And if you wait a wee while, you'll see my name pop up in the credits, which is very, very cool. That for me was a nice little surprise. I was not expecting that at all, but it was something that they did, and it was very kind of them to do so. So yes, my name is in the credits for Studio One, and also the credits for Notion Mobile, because I have been very, very involved in the development of Notion Mobile. So, and still very much am involved with both products, actually. There's a lot that I'm involved with at the moment. So, I think probably the highlight of my year, I've got two highlights. One's musical, one isn't. But the highlight of my year from a musical point of view was going to Hamburg and visiting the software team for the first time this year, because for various reasons, it couldn't happen at the points in time that it needed to happen. So a lot of what I had to do, I had to do remotely. But yeah, getting to go to Hamburg in Germany in the beginning of December was really, really cool. And hanging out with the developers and the QA guys, and of course, Arne Kaiser, my very, very dear friend, who is the general manager of the Persona software team, and Matthias Yuan, who is the brains. Basically, he's the chief architect of Studio One. Studio One basically started out as his thing, his personal DAW that he was making himself. And then his software company called Crystal Audio Labs was acquired by Presonus in, I think, 2006. And the DAW that he was building then, of course, became Presonus's DAW and became Studio One, which was released in 2009. And so basically Matthias is still at the reins, still basically overseeing the overall architecture of Studio One. He doesn't get to decide what goes in and what doesn't, but he does oversee, just broadly oversee development of Studio One. And he's a great guy. He's also a bass player, which is great. So we do get to talk quite a bit about bass playing as much as we talk about Studio One. And he's great. He's fantastic. What a great guy he is. And I had not met him before in person. I had talked to him a lot on Slack and Zoom calls, but I had never actually spoken to him in person. So that was really nice. And getting to play their pinball machine and all of that was really cool. And then, of course, the non-music related thing, which was the other kind of major highlight of my year, was what happened the week after, which was my eldest daughter's wedding. And it was a great, great time. Really, really great. I was so proud and pleased to see her get married. And the guy she's married is really, really great. He's a great bloke. But whilst I was there, I slipped and fell, and I have a first-degree tear of my left calf, which is, let's just say, I mean, it's a lot better than it was, but it's still very, very painful. Walking is still a bit of an interesting experience, but I have pain relief, which I have sat right here on my desk, and I take those as required. And it does say do not take whilst consuming alcohol. I may have ignored those rules today. Ever so slightly. But yeah, it was wonderful. Wonderful experience. Not so wonderful falling, not so wonderful hurting my leg, but it was great. Loved it. Danny Taylor says, if Personas needs devs or QA testers, hit me up job hunting again. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, mate. I'm sorry to hear that you are job hunting again. That sucks, man. And I'm sorry that you are having that experience. That's not great at all. But I hope that 2025 improves that. If you're looking for jobs, the best thing you can do is to go to fender.com careers. There's a careers button there. And that will take you to the careers page, and you will see Personas jobs there as well as Fender jobs. And so it's well worth looking at what there might be there, because there have been some Persona software openings just of late, and I don't know whether they have all been filled yet or not. So it would be worth going and having a look at that, because you never know. You never know. You might find something that you can apply for there. Danny says 2025 has to be better. It will be better. I can't say I guarantee it, but I believe it. Warnings are made to be broken. Hold my beer. Yes, I think they are sometimes. So, I'm not seeing any more contributions on the subject of musical things that you're proud of in 2024. But if you have those, please do keep them coming. Some of you may be actually thinking about what to put. And that's okay. That's fine. So the second question is a little bit more esoteric. And that is this. My second question is, let me make sure I word this right. In 2025, what features would you like to see, or would you predict? Okay. What features do you predict will be added to Studio One in 2025? And also, what hardware products do you think Personas will come out with in 2025? Now, caveat, I'm not going to confirm or deny anything, okay? But I am interested to see what you guys think might come up and might come available in Studio One or hardware products. So please do get those in the chat, what you would like to see or what you think you will see in Studio One in 2025. And then we will see, you know, if one of your predictions comes true. That would be fucking awesome. I'd love to see that. Christina says, a naked man dancing on the screen. Okay, maybe. Maybe that's why I was over in Hamburg. Maybe you've just rumbled my entire reason for being over in Hamburg. That's what I was there for. Like I said, I'm not confirming or denying anything. Danny says, Stina, hold for the pics. Yes, exactly. What would you like to see in Studio One in 2025? Bearing in mind, we have the faster release cycle that is going to start happening in 2025. Roger Beckett says, a second loop bar, basically a loop within a loop. That would be a very interesting one. Yeah. Garner99 says that he thinks that the stem separation will improve. I totally agree that that may happen. I'm not confirming or denying anything. More AI support in Studio One. That would be cool, wouldn't it? Yeah, I think that would be cool. Yeah, the stem separation is very, very cool, but it is a wee bit basic at the moment. So I think that is most likely to happen, that there will be improvements to it to make it better. Dave Barslow says more project templates. Okay, that's an interesting one. Danny Taylor says, I would like to see workspaces work like Git. You mean like GitHub? Maybe. I certainly would agree that I think that the workflow for workspaces could be improved. For sure. Because I think it works well, but it is maybe just a wee tad cumbersome, a wee tad clunky in its workflow. Billy Morgan says detachable inspector. That's a good one. That's a good one, especially now that we have a detachable browser. Kind of stands to reason that maybe we might see a detachable inspector. That could be pretty good. I can see so many potential use cases for that. You know, especially those that have got multiple screens. I've only got 2 screens. And actually these days I thought 2 screens was a luxury. But actually I've seen people with like 4 or 5 screens for their Studio One setups, and I'm just like, okay, you know, maybe 2 screens is just not enough anymore. And so being able to put the browser on one screen, the inspector on another, and the mixer on another, and the note editor on another, and finally the score editor on another would be a really, really handy workflow. Just Bob is here. Welcome, Bob. I'm glad you're home. Grab yourself a beverage, because we are drinking tonight. I am reasonably drunk, it would be safe to say. And I have been a wee bit sweary so far tonight. And I have a bottle of Prosecco to finish, and I have a box of Punk IPA there to finish as well. So I want to get through some of those. CHDB Music says, an LFO tool that you could map to control VST plugins, something like Xtreme, but on steroids. Please don't talk to me about steroids. Yeah, an LFO tool would be very, very cool. I agree. Dwayne says, I would like to see advanced MIDI support in the show page. For example, lighting control. I would love to see lighting control in the show page as well. And support for MDX in general. So you can run video displays as well as lighting as well in the show page. That would be fucking awesome. I agree. Keep counting with the swear jar there, please, Danny. Dave Barslow says, I'm grateful for having the feeling that some of my input has actually been put to use. Well, that's a good thing to be thankful for, Dave. Absolutely. And I think you can safely say that that has definitely happened this year. Let's see. Roger Beckett says, more integration with distribution services like DistroKid. Well, maybe. I mean, we do have the TuneCore integration. So maybe the DistroKid might conflict with that a wee bit, but certainly I think that's a good idea. For sure. Let's see. Paparaptor Music is here. Lloyd, my friend, I'm so glad to see you. Welcome. Happy New Year to you, my friend. Kyle is leaving us. Kyle, thank you for being here, my friend. I am very thankful for you and your friendship in 2024. Long may this continue well into 25 and beyond, my friend. Just Bob says, cheers, my friend. I have a beer and glad to welcome a new year with you and all in the chat. Yes, you guys don't get there yet. You got about, 5.25 hours in the central time zone area, 5.25 hours until you get to 2025. So you guys need to get your drinking skates on, quite honestly. Let's see. So we're talking about things that we would predict would be coming to Studio One in 2025. And also, if you can't really think of anything, then certainly maybe think about hardware products that you think might also be released by Presonus in 2025. Kyle says, love this group. Well, you know what, Kyle? We love you. We adore you. We care about you a great deal, and we're glad you're part of who we are. Just Bob says, Studio One records before you hit record, correct? Yes, it does. You kind of need to do something to make that happen. Now, with MIDI, you've already got retrospective recording. With audio, you can set that up as well so that it does that. But you've only got a maximum of, I think, 1 minute of pre-record for audio, which is really, really handy. Is there a way to pull out those pre-records as actual files? If not, that would be a cool function. Yeah, you can. You can totally do it. I think I showed this on a previous show. It might have been the last one that we did, actually, where I demonstrated how you do it. It took me a wee minute to remember how it did it, but it does. Danny Taylor says, I need Og Vorbis support as well. Well, good news for you. Studio One already supports Og Vorbis formats for both import and export. Studio One has done that since version 4, I believe, if memory serves. Tony is on bottle number 2 as well. Good grief, you're catching me up. Shit, that's scary. So I now need a refill. Roger Beckett says, I've upgraded Pro Q3 with the ability to draw in EQ curves. Ah, I think I see what you mean. So rather than using the controls, actually use your mouse to draw in a curve. I can see why you might think that would be a great idea. And actually, I think in principle, it is. But what about those that really can't draw very well, that their drawings look like a 3-year-old kid? That's me. I draw. I believe there will be an after show Zoom, Christina. I believe that already in the chat, Billy has committed himself to doing that, which is great. So hopefully that will happen after this show, whenever this show finishes. I'm not sure when the show is going to finish yet. But yes, I draw like a 2-year-old or 3-year-old with a mouse. With a pencil, fine. I can do fine arts. I have done fine arts. I have sold paintings. One painting. Twice. I sold 2 copies of the one painting, and I was just like, yes, I have arrived. I am an artist. I have sold a painting. That was one of the things that I wanted to tick off as things to achieve in my life. Sell a painting. So I did. I did a painting. It was of a fishing boat that was pulled up onto the beach, and the beach was not really a sandy beach. It was a rocky beach, so there were lots of stones and things and I drew that and I painted it afterwards. So I did it as a kind of sketch first, and then I painted it. And it was oil on canvas. And I managed to sell it. Weirdly enough, I sold 2 copies of it. But yeah, drawing automation curves with a mouse. No, I draw like a 3-year-old. And if I am drunk like I am now, it's worse. I draw like an embryo, probably. Neil Thompson is here. Neil, welcome. He says, so how late to the party am I? Nearly an hour late, but that's okay because we're going to keep going. And you've missed out on a good amount of my sweariness already. Danny, what are we up to? Where are we? What are we up to on the swear count? So for Neil's benefit, so he knows where we're up to. Or where I'm up to, because I'm the one that's being sweary. Neil says, regarding during ability, it might be a fun experiment tonight to have you live draw an automation curve once after each drink. Okay. Thank you, Danny. We're up to 8. Right. Okay. I'm going to go and create a new song in Studio One. And we're going to see if I can draw an automation curve. So I'm going to go to the home page and I'm going to go new, blank new song. And I'm just going to create just one track. And I'm going to open that automation lane and we're going to go to the screen so you guys can see it. And we'll put the webcam on. Except it didn't come on. There we go. Now it's on. All right. Lloyd says, 8. You're not even trying. Yes, I fucking am, you fucking fuck. Right. Let's see. Can I draw an automation curve with the freehand pencil? Let's go and get a freehand pencil. Let's see how straight I can make this curve. Let's see if I can do like a nice curve down and then up into bar 3. Not bad. Okay, let's try going up a bit. Okay, yeah, the up one doesn't really work. Let's try again. Oh, I see why. I see why it's not really working. Okay, let's undo the last curve there. So let's do a curve down there. Yeah, I've done some automation. There's no audio there, but there's automation there. And you can probably hear my fader part and my mixer drawing that, following that. You swear like you draw. That's hardly fair. Swear count at 12. Oh, dear God, Danny, you can't lose count. Shit, man. You're not allowed to lose count. I can't have you losing count. Oh, dear Lord. Yeah, so there you go. There's a fine example of 2-year-old scribble. And that's, you know, me reasonably kind of inebriated. So let's go back over here. Just Bob says, guide that's separate from recording that shows ideal EQ curves of bass, drums, guitar as a screenshot, picture, or reference within Studio One Help feature, a reference to help sculpt recordings. Interesting idea. Kind of like that. Kind of like that. Yeah. Tony says it's now 4 a.m. here in Cyprus and he loves it. Great! I'm glad. I'm glad you're loving it over in Cyprus. Cyprus is a beautiful... Man, Cyprus is such a beautiful wee island. And it's not that wee, but it's a beautiful island. I love Cyprus. And the Cypriot people are amazing. They are hilarious and they know how to party. Roger Beckett says, I'm grateful for Persona's support this year who have really helped me out a lot. Roger, thank you very much for saying that. The Persona support team are amazing. They are some of the most knowledgeable people on the planet about Studio One. They really are. They are proper Studio One experts. And they are, I mean, it's not just Studio One that they support. They support all of the interfaces as well as the Studio Live mixers and all of those, and the Revelator microphones and all of that. They support all of those stuff. Basically, when you see a new product that Presonus releases, that's a new product that the Presonus support team have to support. So please be thinking of them when you make your purchase and go, you know, think to yourself, man, I'm so thankful that we have got those guys behind us if something doesn't work properly as it should. And they are amazing. They work very, very hard to get you guys back to making music as quickly as possible. You know, and especially at this time of year, it's a little bit difficult because there's public holidays. So there's, like at Christmas, the support team were off on public holidays and for New Year's. So right now there is no technical support at the moment, and there won't be until later, actually. On January 2nd, the Persona support team will be back in office. I won't be working, but they will. So if you have already put in a support ticket for anything, for any reason whatsoever that is still open, please be patient. Please spare them a thought. Because, you know, Christmas is a well-deserved break for them. They work so hard throughout the year. And especially in the run-up to Christmas, it does get very, very busy, and they do solve a lot of tickets. And they do work with a lot of customers in the run-up to Christmas. So please do be patient with them. If you are waiting for a reply, you may have been waiting 2 or 3 days, maybe even 4 days to get a response from technical support. Please be patient. They are having a well-deserved break. And I'm pretty sure that you would want them working your ticket with you with a fresh heart and a fresh mind, rather than somebody that is exhausted and tired and is not really going to be in a right kind of objective place to be able to help you. So please be mindful of them. So thank you, Roger, for that. And you know what? I will pass that on to the support team. I think they will be very thankful to hear that. Neil says a swear jar could well be filled by language used during the automation curve drawing later tonight. Yeah, I've kind of done a wee bit, and I didn't really swear that much, actually. It wasn't that difficult, but it still looks a bit shit. Anyone using Starlink internet tonight? No, not here. Not here. I'm using internet provided by the company formerly shit, I really can't speak now. Formerly known as Orange/T-Mobile. Now, in the United States, you still have T-Mobile. Here we don't anymore. They merged, and they also then merged again with BT to become EE, which stands for Everything Everywhere. So they provide broadband, internet, and TV, and all sorts of other shit. And we have their broadband. We don't subscribe to their TV or any of that other shit. We just subscribe to their broadband. We've been using them for about 5 or 6 years, and no trouble at all with them. I hear good things about Starlink. I have no idea who owns them or anything like that, but I hear good things about them. especially some of my friends who are storm chasers, and they live stream using, whoops, shit, nearly spilled my drink. And they do their live streams using Starlink, and they love it. And they swear by it, and it really does seem to work for them. Roger says he's also very grateful for Gregor's videos. He's Personas' secret weapon. He would love to hear that. He would probably disagree with you, but I think deep down inwardly in his heart, he would love to hear you say that. So I will pass that on to Gregor as well. When he next beats me at chess, which he does with alarming regularity. And yes, my swear count does go up considerably when my arse is being whipped by Gregor at chess. Neil says that the guitar amp maker Orange is now into providing internet service. That's crazier than Fender going to the dog business. That's very, very funny. No, different company. Orange were a mobile phone network provider. And they are originally a French company. There were two French companies, Orange and T-Mobile. Both are French companies. And both started out as cell phone network providers. And they then kind of moved them into the UK mobile phone network market. And when they did that, they then decided to merge. And they became EE. And then EE decided to buy up BT. What does BT stand for? BT stands for British Telecom. British Telecom has been around since the 1890s, the 1900s, as the very first public telephone network in the UK. And so they are now owned by EE, this French conglomerate. It's very, very weird, very, very entertaining, and doesn't really bear any resemblance to music production whatsoever, but it is still hilarious. That I even know this shit, but I do. Orange amps go back to the 1960s, I believe. And so probably the name Orange probably predates the mobile phone network. Billy says when touring in Europe in the 90s, they used the Orange mobile network. Yes. Yeah, more than likely you did. And in fact, I used Orange as a network from the time they first came to the UK. And I have been with them since they merged with T-Mobile and then they became EE. So I've been with them for over 20 years. And I don't think I get any loyalty discounts or anything as a result, unfortunately. Probably, Neil, they probably have run into legal trouble with the guitar amp company Orange. I would not be surprised. Wasn't BT originally a division of the British Postal Service? That may well be true. You may be right. I am not sure. Libara. Yes, Libara. They have attempted to have a bit of a corner in the UK market. Yeah, not very successful. And Dwayne says he believes that SpaceX owns Starlink. Interesting. So that would be Musk. Joy. Elon, smart guy. I think as a business person, he probably is. In most other respects, I don't know. I reserve judgment, shall we say, and I'm not going to get into politics here. Roger Beckett says, as for hardware, maybe Fender will come out with a guitar that has a Personas interface built into it to record directly from your guitar. Do you mean guitar amp? Maybe a guitar amp that has an interface built into it? Because if that's what you mean, I think that's a really great idea. I think that's a really, really great idea. A guitar amp that has Personas interface technology built into it that makes it dead easy. Maybe a little bit like the Spark. You you guys may know of the Spark guitar amps, where you can actually do that. You can connect your Spark guitar amp to your computer via USB, and it works as an audio interface as well. Maybe something like that is what you're thinking about. Fun fact, for a period of time, we had a partnership with Spark, whereby when you bought a Spark 40 guitar amp, you also got Studio One Prime. So yeah, Studio One Prime was bundled with Spark guitar amps for a wee while. Not the case anymore. Just Bob says British Postal Service. Yeah, it's not called the British Postal Service, it's called the Post Office. I know, really unimaginative. I mean, what a shit name for it, but that's what they called it. The Post Office was, yes, it was publicly owned. It still kind of is publicly owned. But certainly a sector, should we say, of the post office is now owned by the French. And you know what's hilarious about this? French telecommunications, post office being owned kind of a wee bit by the French. We left the European Union. That was fucking stupid. But like I said, we're not getting to politics. But anyway, because there will be some people here that are pro-Brexit, and I'm certainly not. But yeah, we're not going to get into politics. Dave Barcelo says, in fact, I have the RIFF and complete software amps and plugins. Oh, to do with your Spark amp. Okay, that's pretty cool. I was not aware that they had like a bunch of plugins. That's cool. Just Bob says, please hit the like button, folks. It helps me out. Yes, it does. Please like and subscribe. If you are not subscribed and you are watching me getting more and more drunk, and you are entertained by this fact because you have never seen me like this before, then please hit the like button and please subscribe. But please bear in mind, if you do that, subsequent shows after this one will not feature any drunkenness. They will be completely normal, and I will be sober, and perhaps less entertaining than you think. Of course, I will continue to try and entertain, but I'll also continue to try and educate you in 2025 with Studio One and with music theory and with, you know, composing, arranging, and all of that stuff that we do on the Wednesday Songwriting Simplified show. I have lots of big plans and big ideas for Songwriting Simplified. I also have lots of big ideas for the Sunday Night Live show as well, to improve them, to make them better. But since these shows are you focused, I would like your suggestions. So, if you would like to make a suggestion for topics or featured subjects or questions, please email me at Jonny Lipsham Studios.co.uk. Email me at Jonny@JonnyLipshamStudios.co.uk. And if you do that, and put in your subject, put the whole subject as suggestion for Sunday Night Live or suggestion for Songwriting Simplified. Email me those. If you've got a subject or a question, a broad question that you would like answered, email me those. And you know what? I will compile a list of those questions with the intention that we will focus on those in individual shows as we go forward throughout 2025. So there is some other news as well. And that is, there will be more songwriting challenges for 2024. I have confirmed with Rich Cresswell that there will be another songwriting challenge for Halloween and another songwriting challenge for Christmas, and there will be prizes for both. So if you took part this year and you didn't win, but you would like to win, then please enter those contests. There will be mini contests leading up to those bigger ones as well. Those ones will not have prizes attached to them, but I would love you to still enter. The reason being that I would love you to still enter those contests, even if there is no damn prize, is because the challenges are designed to help prepare you and equip you so that when we get to the Halloween and the Christmas challenges, you have got a whole bunch of tools, a whole bunch of skills, and a whole bunch of concepts that you can draw upon for making your music for those challenges. And of course, the whole point of those challenges is not just to win the fucking prizes. The whole point of those challenges is for you to get your music out there and in the semi-public of a workspace where we can all listen in a nice, safe environment to each other's piece, and we can all have an input and comment onto each other's works so that we can grow, we can improve, and we can get better. What's this that Danny Taylor's saying? He's going to step away for a bit. If someone wants to track the swear count like this matters, I find my worth in small things in life. Danny, you are hilarious and I love you very dearly. Yes, I believe we are up to number 22. Which is not bad. So that's £22 going in the swear jar. And I will find something to spend on it. I will probably buy myself the largest, most massive chocolate bar I can find. And then consume it. Or something. I don't know. Okay, Christina is on top of my swear count. That's good. Awesome. Okay, so Danny has kept it, and now Christina is taking over for a wee minute. Excellent. So yes, so that's kind of next year. That's, well, not next year anymore. This year. That's this year coming. We've got these songwriting contests. Just Bob says, I want to write a song about spam. When you say spam, do you mean the kind of shit email that you get where it's from some Nigerian general or some Nigerian general's daughter who's basically said that her father has passed away and has left all of this money, which is not in a will or some other shit like that. And you are going to be their next of kin or some other crap like that. Is that what you want to write about? Or are you talking about, you know, the tiny little can of meat called spam? Is that what you're referring to? Which one are you referring to? Because I know which one is more entertaining. Oh, spam as in the meat. Yes, that's what I was hoping. That's what I was hoping you meant. Spam as in the meat. Yes. Although that said, the spam email thing is probably song worthy as well. Richard Stallman made the email song. Oh, cool. So there is a song out there about spam email. Cool. Yeah. Neil says, funny you should mention that as I'm currently eating pieces of giant Toblerone. I have a Galaxy bar, which I had decided when I started this, I would have like one strip per day. Nope. I've had half the bar today. Just today. So much for that. But that said, I have this one and this one to get through. So much for losing weight in 2025. That's not going to happen now, is it? Just Bob says, and it may not be meat. It might be meat-ish. Well, Spam, I rather suspect, is comprised of the arse of several different pigs. Probably like the arse, maybe the tail, maybe the trotters, something like that. How big is the galaxy? Toblerone is 360. Okay, how much is this? This one is... Okay, this one is 180. This one is also 180, but this one is 360. Neil, this one is 360. So yeah. So much for losing weight. It's not going to happen now, is it? That was my New Year's resolution. All right, so we are at 2:15. We got 19 people here. If you would like to go over to Billy's Zoom, please say so. If you would rather stay here and continue the show, we can continue the show. But if the general consensus is to switch over to the Zoom, then we can do that. I don't mind whichever you guys want to do. It's entirely your call. The after show Zoom would be fun, but it'll only be fun if you guys come along. If you guys actually follow Billy's link and go to the Zoom, and we have a whole ton of people here. We got 20 people watching. You know, it's New Year's. Come on, let's get all 20 of yous that are watching now into Billy's Zoom, if you guys are up for that. Billy, I hope you don't mind 20 people gate crashing your Zoom. That's true, Neil. Yes, you're right. I have 720 grams of chocolate to get through. But I've already started on one of my 180 bars. Whee! First burp. Just Bob says, my New Year's wish is to wake up and be thankful tomorrow. There you go. Alright, so, what do you guys want to do? If you want to stay, please say stay in the chat. If you want to Zoom, say Zoom in the chat. And if I see more people saying Zoom, then we'll go over to Billy's Zoom and we'll end the show here. But if you want me to carry on, we'll carry on. It's up to you. It's up to you guys. We've got 18 people here now. So if you want to stay, please say stay. If you want to go to the Zoom, please say Zoom in the chat. Get your responses in now. Okay, I've got one person that wants to stay. Stina says, remember, you don't need to show face or talk in the Zoom. Correct. You can have your camera off, you can have your mic muted, and you can just kind of be in the background. It's up to you. Just Bob says, good night, everyone. Can't Zoom or stay. Gonna hang out with my wife. I wish you all a blessed new year. No problem, Bob. No problem at all. Stina says, please help Jonny and say... Say what? Say what? Please help me and say what, Christina? Yeah, please help me out by saying what you'd rather do. I'm happy to stay and keep going. But I'm also happy for everyone to pile over to Billy's Zoom and continue to drink and get shit-faced further. I'm cool for either, to be honest. So say stay or Zoom. Zoom if you want to go over to the Zoom. Stay if you want to stay here on the show. And I got one person that says they want to stay. Nobody else is saying anything else. So it looks like, because we've only got 1 out of 19 that want to stay, I think we are probably going to end the show here, to be honest. Because that seems to be the general consensus, being that nobody else has said anything. So, that being the case, well, unfortunately, I can't do both. I can't have the show run and run the Zoom at the same time, unfortunately, Dave. I'm sorry about that. That just doesn't work from this point of view. So, unfortunately, that doesn't work here. Johnny Guyver's away. He has to go to work. Neil says, dang, you only did 1 automation drawing. I'm sorry about that. Maybe if we're all over in the Zoom, I can do some more there and be a bit more sweary over there as well. Billy, I'm sure, does not mind me being a sweary fucking Scotsman. Okay. All right. I think we'll pile over to Billy's Zoom. I have to make a decision one way or the other. I was hoping you guys could help me out, but that's okay. So we will end the show here. We've been going for just over an hour and a quarter. I was kind of hoping that we might make it to 2 hours and make it a bit more of a longer show, but that's okay. Well, we've gone over by 20 minutes. That's not so bad. Neil says, I wanted to mention that one of the best things to happen in 24 was the return of the HST live streams. Could not agree more. Could not agree more. I'm glad to see Johnny back doing those kind of things. And he's actually, considering the amount of jobs he's working at the moment, and how busy he is, he's also keeping up with a lot of video production as well. It's amazing because, you know, I have a full-time job at Presonus, plus I work as a session musician and an arranger, and, you know, I don't really have very much time for making videos, unfortunately. It's one of the things I regret, is that I can't really make that many videos. But that said, this year, for 2025, I've already pre-shot a bunch of videos, which I think you guys are going to get a big kick out of. I think you're going to enjoy them. I think you're going to be amazed by the things that I'm going to be demonstrating and showing in the new videos that are coming in 2025. So, I've pre-shot them. Not all of them. There's some that I haven't shot yet, but I've got a list of videos and I'm just working my way through them when I can. But yeah, so there's a bunch of videos coming for 2025 already. So be on the lookout for those. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you've hit that like button. Make sure you've done all of the usual YouTube shit that needs to be done to get this channel and get me promoted a wee bit more. Share with your friends, share with your friends' friends, share with your friends' tennis partners, and share with your friends' lovers, pets, you name it. I want to make sure that this show gets out there. Neil says, I made a point of telling Johnny in a comment that he doesn't need to ramp up to 5 shows a week like he used to be. Yes, I agree. He only needs to do 1 a week. 1 a week. That'll do it for him, I think. Anyway, with that said, I've just farted as well, so I burped and I have farted and I have sworn 25 fucking times. I think it's time we went over to Billy's Zoom. So I'll see yous all over there. A very happy new year to everybody who is watching this either now, live, or you're watching on the replay. I'm sure I will watch this on the replay as well, and I may have to make it private because it is a wee bit sweary, and YouTube might not like the fact that I've been a wee bit fucking sweary. All right, we're up to 26. Can I make this a nice round number? Can I make this 30? Let's see, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. I've got to swear 4 more fucking shit arse wank bastarding times. There, I think I made it to 30. I think we made it to 30 fucking swear. Damn it, that's 31 now. Shit. 32! Oh! Damn it. 33. Oh, so much for it being a round number. Oh well. Anyways, I'll see you all over at Billy's Zoom. A very happy new year to everybody. I love you all so very much. You are all very near and dear to my heart, every single one of you. Whether you are watching now or watching on replay, or whether you are a brand new subscriber or you're an old person, not an old person. I don't mean it to sound like that. If you've been around my channel for a while, and some of you have been subscribed for multiple years, you guys are all very near and dear to my heart. I love you all immensely, very, very much. And I love your loyalty and your support, and I thank you for it. And I hope that the sweary nature of this show has not ruined that for you and you don't unsubscribe. I apologize to those of you that aren't into the sweariness. That's it for the year for sweariness. Normal servers will be resumed next Sunday, where we have a perfectly tame and normal Sunday Night Live. If you've got a question or a subject that you would like to feature in next week's show, email that to me before Saturday. I would appreciate that. Otherwise, good night, everybody. Have a great 2025 whenever you walk into it. Bye.